Hey everyone, hope you're all doing well again. Happy Christmas Eve. And I've been kind of winding down a little bit for Christmas holidays, as if you are in Ontario, you're knowing about the province wide lockdown that's coming on Boxing Day. And my original plan was to go see my family, more just like two members of my family, on the day that the lockdown was supposed to happen, although I didn't know that at the time. And so plans changed, and I ended up going to see my family yesterday. And so, obviously, although this is important for me to do, family and visiting is obviously more important because you don't really know the next time when you're going to see them. Tomorrow, I'm going to be doing, either tomorrow or the next day, I'm going to be doing a video of some new things that I was given and things that I got. That is going to help out a lot with my channel and on my other channel, for my gaming channel. I'm obviously not going to show everything today because there's a couple things, and I think a lot of people knew about me doing this on the channel, and they all wanted to kind of contribute a little bit. And thank you to everyone that did do that. I really appreciate it. Now, obviously, if you can see, I'll stand up. My fiance got me this, which yesterday she couldn't wait to give it to me on Christmas. She really wanted to. And has Bichette on the back, number 11. That's her favorite player and also mine. And I think what happened was she more just fell in love with the game because of him and all his records, and just kind of really appreciated how good a baseball player could really be, which is awesome because she's always saying that she wants it to come back. And I think this really shows that she's excited about it. So thank you to her. I really love it. She keeps asking me if I love it. I absolutely do. And she got me something else with her. Like I said, I'm not showing everything, but on my gaming channel, some nice Turtle Beach headphones. And I'll just give one little sneak peek of an idea. It's not really a sneak peek, but so my dad has these hockey cards that he gave me, and they're the 1990 edition from a company called Score. And this was the year where Eric Lindros, as you can see, was still on the Oshawa Generals. And there are some missing from this because I went through it when I was younger, and I think I ended up misplacing some of the cards. I hope none of them that were too valuable, and back then I didn't really know a lot of players outside of Gretzky, so I'm assuming I didn't pillage it or anything like that. So now that's not everything, but I don't really know what I'm going to be receiving tomorrow sports-wise. If anything, if this is everything, I am extremely happy. But I don't want to spoil everything, as there is a few things that my father gave me, and that obviously is one of them, but we'll make a video about that. Now, this video is going to be about, like, that long prologue, or, prologue, not epilogue. Prologue to that was to what I'm going to lead up to. Now, this video is going to be about the Chicago Blackhawks 2021 season. Chicago is one of those teams that really hesitated to go into full rebuild mode, and I think they're starting to really look in that direction because Kane and Taves were not very happy with the non-transparency, and I don't think it was that they weren't willing to go through a rebuild and help out some young core come up, but it was that they weren't being transparent, the management wasn't, of what their plans were. And they didn't really like that, considering how long they've been around and how long they are going to be around, regardless of a trade, how long the organization is committed to them contract-wise. They weren't very happy with the lack of transparency. So Chicago finished 31-30-8 last year, and that was 12th in the Western Conference. So a regular year, that definitely would have been well short of a playoff spot, but they beat the Edmonton Oilers in the first round of the play-in series, which was a huge disappointment for the Oilers, as we talked about in what I covered, a topic about the Oilers earlier. I believe Connor McDavid earlier last month. Huge disappointment. You can't get eliminated by a team that was 12th in the West, and they did go on to lose to the Vegas Golden Knights, but still there was a lot of buzz around Chicago of maybe this core is still going to be able to get it done with players like Corey Crawford, Duncan Keith, Seabrook, Kane, etc. Now, what I respect about the organization is that even though they did get past the Oilers, they were still able to look at themselves and say, yeah, I don't think this is the core that's going to get it done. And that was evident when they sent Corey Crawford, or pardon me, Corey Crawford signed with the New Jersey Devils, which is kind of the more questionable one, but Brandon Saad again leaves Chicago for another time and goes and joins the Colorado Avalanche, which can be awesome for him. I think he's going to fit in perfectly there. That's going to be a huge addition to probably their second and third line there. So some of the notable additions were Nikita Zadorov left for Chicago from Colorado, so really he just swaps with Brandon Saad, and Matthias Janmark leaves the Dallas Stars and signs with the Chicago Blackhawks. There's two big questions for this team in general, and the biggest one is going to be goaltending, obviously, but the second one is their young defense, and they're not the only team in the league that has that problem with that mixture of young and old defense that doesn't quite have an identity yet, because you look at that Blackhawks back end and you don't really see that up and coming young stud that is there. Boqvist is maybe that guy, and he's shown that he can be that guy, but he's really, I think this is going to be a season that's really going to be a big stepping stone for him towards a breakout season. And the success of that shutdown ability and Chicago limiting goals is going to lie on that top pair, because the rest of the defense isn't really known for really shutting down. You could say Brent Seabrook, but he's really not the same player that he was when Chicago was winning their cups. Now the biggest question, goaltending, like I just said. It was a little strange that they let Crawford go, especially with the questions in net. Is Colin Delia ready for that full-time starting position? And is Malcolm Subban going to be enough of a complementary piece? I worry about Malcolm Subban because he's struggled on very good defensive teams. So those high-quality scoring chances that weren't allowed obviously just never materialized. They were never turned into shots. But he was always letting in questionable goals, rebounds into bad places, positional hiccups that just you kind of question. And he's been a goalie that was definitely he was a goalie that was more highly touted when he was coming up for the Boston Bruins, and he was sent down to the AHL a lot. He was more of a long-term project, but I personally am just not seeing a lot of progress in Subban. So I just think that it would have been nice for them to keep Crawford around to kind of be a cushion, because it's not like you look at Colin Delia and you think, oh, he's the guy coming up, he's our next starter for the next 10 years, although he could turn into a Jacob Markstrom or something like that and really pan out. There's nothing that says he can't do that, whether it's in Chicago or with another team in the future. But Crawford, I think, saw his opportunity of maybe he can win in New Jersey. Maybe this is the year where they have that breakout year in the East with their new core. Because I don't really count that Taylor Hall year, although Nico Hischier was there. I think with the Jack Hughes, Hischier core, and Crawford seeing, hey, maybe Hischier and Hughes are going to have a great year, maybe I can be a part of that. Which you respect, and maybe he wasn't trying to be in Chicago for the money, and he was really just trying to look for the best opportunity to win. So I'm going to predict no playoffs. And it's not that they don't have the skill or anything, it's that they barely got there with the pieces that left. So with Crawford and Brandon Saad, those were the pieces that got them there. And although they weren't the main pieces, you look at the team and just subtract them, and you say, okay, now are they getting in? And with getting Nikita Zadorov and Matthias Janmark, I don't think those guys are even close to being able to be a replacement, because none of them are a goaltender of Corey Crawford's caliber, which he isn't maybe elite, but they're not a goaltender. And Matthias Janmark, he's good, but I don't think he's Brandon Saad good when he's in a good system, because we've seen Brandon Saad thrive. But yeah, so no playoffs, but I think they are doing the right thing, the absolute right thing. They need to, maybe they recognized it a year too late, maybe they could have capitalized on the year left in Saad's and Crawford's contracts, and maybe could have got something back for them. But I think there was a lot of pressure from the fans and the organization and the owners to get this team back into the playoffs because of their cup success. Yeah, I hope everyone is enjoying this so far, although I know it's more spread out and drawn out. Like I said, the season isn't immediately starting, but in January, and my cat just fell. In January, they will be picking up, obviously, because I got to get to 31 teams, and I don't want to run out of days or have to be doing like 3 a day and make them rush. So we'll be picking it up a lot more. I hope everyone has a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you're celebrating. Everyone in Ontario and in the world, stay safe. If you're going into a lockdown, as we are, just try to follow what they're saying. Just do your part and do what is best for your family and everyone else. And everyone who's celebrating away from family, you're all doing the right thing, and we're in this together. Just know that your neighbor across the street, maybe that you don't know, or your neighbor that you do know, they're all going through the same thing, very likely. So everyone enjoy. If you have family in your home with you that you are privileged to have, enjoy your night with them, enjoy Christmas with them, and just stay safe. The World Juniors start tomorrow officially, the first actual round tomorrow. So I'll be able to watch some of that sparingly. Again, I'm going to be with my family. I've just started to live in my house with my fiance. But I will be trying to watch as many as I can. And if it's getting close, elimination or World Junior, I'll definitely be more into it. And the Raptors, obviously, we're going to have to talk about their first game against New Orleans Pelicans. And yeah, we have a lot to talk about. I'm so glad sports is back, and I'm glad there's a lot of stuff to talk about. But I will be showing you everything else, hockey cards and some memorabilia that I got. And yeah, everyone have a very Merry Christmas, and I will see you guys in the next video.